The pilgrimage we do every year, when you drop a pin on a map, that's where the direction is, that's where I'm going.
If you're going against the grain in whatever environment that you're growing up in or living in, you're going to feel like a social outcast. Everyone at some point in their life has a breaking point.
Well, a lot of people think they're on a spiritual journey. They may not be. They might be on an ego trip.
You know, when a person speaks truth, he attracts a lot of people, you know?
There's so many sides to him. It's like there's like this fire, like pure fucking ability to just rage and anger.
You did today.
What a Paramananda. Kid.
I walked into this club and there's Ray Cappo sitting on the couch, and I just knew this guy's gonna be my best friend.
Check this out.
Something must have happened in his life really, really dark.
They were also kids, you know? We were all kids, really.
And it propelled him to search for answers and ask questions that he had never asked before.
I like to take people to holy places, of the yogis, of the sages.
You know, me and Purcell too, honestly felt sort of threatened by it. This is kind of breaking up our band potentially, and our friend is gone.
He lived, which sounded like a really great life. Maybe that felt like it wasn't enough.
As a society, are we moving deeper into materialism, or are people or segment of society starting to question that and try to move away from that?
The essential teaching is you're not this body.
When you actually surrender, you see like things and magic happen, you know?
Transformation. The transformation happens here in real life.
On one hand, it's such a free and open thing. It's like, this is punk, this is hardcore, do whatever you want. But to be honest, there's a lot of rules, a lot of restrictions. A lot of people get slapped in the wrist for stepping out and doing this, and oh, that's dumb, and that's fucking this and that, blah, blah.
You know, you're not going to find a tradition that you agree with 100% about in anything. You know, in fact, if you find something that you agree with 90% or even 70%, you know, I would consider that a good tradition.
There's a lot of things I respect about Ray, but one of the things is his ability to just say, fuck it, I'm going to do this, I want to do it. It means something to me.
We have social stigmas and social norms.
He often says things that, you know, like in a sense, many of us might think, but we wouldn't say out loud.
And men are supposed to be this, and men are supposed to be that.
He can touch, you know, people like me coming from like, you know, the very aggressive scene in a very soft, sweet way.
Ray has always been sort of a searcher of things and spirituality and, you know.
Why death? Why sickness? Why do you have to get old?
In Ray's defense, he had to go hard this way. You know, he talks to me about it now. He's like, yeah, I wish in retrospect I was a little more inviting, you know, because it's not really cool to just be like, goodbye, I'm this.
Ray Cappo has lost his freaking mind. What is he doing? Like, the band is huge and we're just getting bigger. Why is he going to India? It seemed to me that things were going good. I guess for him, being the singer, you know, he was going through that whole kind of like trip of what his offering was going to be.
Trying to say, here is 1 rupee.
Ye ek rupiya hai.
No, I don't have any dollars.
Ji nahi, mere paas dollar nahi hai.
How did I decide on India?
And now say, I don't have any rupees.
India has this thing where like there's like a living, breathing
Mera paas kuch rupee nahi hai.
Culture that's still present. It's still here. It's what they've always been doing. It's like having like a tunnel into another world.
I saw this ad that Raghunath, aka Ray Cappo, was like talking about this trip to India. Wow, you know, this is interesting. You know, what is this?
Even though India is like a huge industrial nation now and incredibly progressive, spirituality is still here too. But you gotta know where to look. When you start getting hungry for your spiritual life, the food starts to come.
Why the hell would you go to India? It's crazy there. It's damaging to women. You're sitting on the ground with these people with the cow shit and the dog shit. Filthy, filthy, dirty, but you're in it. One of the things I've said to my daughter is, some of the most fun you'll ever have in your life is when you're dirty. And I hate to say that's true of India, it's dirty, but it's the most precious jewel you've ever seen. The first time I heard a harmonium, it hit me deep. It's nothing you can explain with words. It's nothing you can explain physically. The sound of that harmonium just goes inside you and it touches something.
I already knew him like as Ray Capo. At the time, Youth of Today was probably like the biggest band in the New York area in that era of hardcore, and they had just done this huge tour and one of the most successful like early hardcore tours, and a lot of it had to do with just Raghunath.
So I was like, out of the blue, I'm like, all right, just drop him on, an email. I remember the first time he answered, I was like, wow, this guy who like reinvented, straight edge, he's like, answering my email. So I was like a fan, and of course, like, I had this like, this feeling of like, feeling like a 16-year-old again. But I was like, oh man, should I do it? Should I not do it? I was not prepared. Like physically, I was really weak, There was like times that I couldn't even get out of bed, like it was just really sad,
I knew shit had to change. And I had to do something for me. And I jumped on a plane despite everyone saying, what the heck are you doing? But I knew I had to dive full on into spiritual life and just sit back and figure out just what the fuck just happened to me.
You know what? You should go. There's people taking care of stuff, in the stores, in the office. You have the time, you have the money, do it.
Ancient Bhakti teachings, and it's a little social contract we keep. And not only is it good for traveling with big groups on a crammed bus, on the rest of the trip, we will not criticize anybody, even if that person is sitting too close to me, even if that person's driving me a little crazy, even if there's a person who's wearing something that I would never wear. Why would they wear that? I will not criticize. I will not criticize. I have a tendency to criticize people all the time, and it's not a good habit. So I'm going to let go of that, at least for this trip.
As far as I'm concerned, I mean, I may be a little biased because I was in a band with him, but I mean, he's just generally known as like in the hardcore scene and in the punk scene, he was just like one of the best frontmen out there. Super charismatic frontman, singer.
Humility means not thinking less of yourself. It means thinking of myself less.
And he's the guy that's writing all these lyrics, and he's like the real sort of like focus of the things that all these kids are like latching onto. And he was a real kind of like cult figure, back then. That's a real kind of mind trip for like a 19-year-old kid, where you have all these people like looking up to you for answers, and you got to like look at yourself and check your own head and be like, dude, do I even have the answers?
But my arrogance, and I'm pretty arrogant, it pushes away information. If you think, I know it, I know this, I got this. It shuts down information from entering in.
So it really sent him on this path that like, am I real? Like, how am I supposed to live my life?
नारदम सुदेहि मैं वांछितम फलम श्री महा लक्ष्मी जी साई बाबा गणेश ब्रह्मा विष्णु शिवा सावित्री गायत्री पूजन अहम करिष्यामि कपूर गौरम करुणावतारम संसार सारम भुजगेन्द्रहारम. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ananda Sagara, Muridara, Ananda Sagara, Muridara, Ananda Sagara, Muridara, Ananda Sagara.
I saw like, the love of my life, going with like somebody else, and I would witness my own daughter call somebody else dad,
Vijnanatamurandasya Jnananjanasalakya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
When I was in India, the first days, why me? Why is this happening to me? Because that's what, our culture, and that's how we've been brought up, Something happens, boom, you react and you're angry and, like you're aggressive about it and you're,
Spiritual life is the opposite of material life. See, material world is looking for some type of deep respect. Respect me. I deserve this respect. And we're walking around trying to say, did you notice this about me? I was playing this really nicely. Did you notice that song I sang? Did you notice how I do this? I'm looking desperately, sniffing out ways to try to get people to respect me. Bhakti's not like that. We're trying to see the other we're trying to flip that on its back. How can I respect you? How can I respect you? How can I notice a greatness in you? And maybe there's some person I can't see some greatness in. I'm going to work extra hard for that to find some greatness in them. There is greatness there. But due to my own Maya, due to my own arrogance, I can't see that greatness. All I see is this person that's driving me a little nuts. Don't let him drive you nuts. You're nuts.
Spiritual life and hardcore are like these twin things, which is like, I don't buy the lie of the material world that it's going to be a place that satisfies me.
The material energy is a place for disconnected beings. We're disconnected, we're desperately trying to find our connection, desperately trying to find our tribe. Maybe I'll find it in my family. Maybe I'll find it in my ethnicity or my skin color.
So you reject that if you're into hardcore. You reject that if you're into spirituality. Because if you buy into the thing that you're gonna be born, you're gonna like drink beer, watch TV, go to college, have a job, and then grow old and be happy, then you would never be interested in hardcore, or you wouldn't be interested in spiritual life.
Do this little experiment where I'm focused, I'm serving, I'm controlling my tongue of the stupid things I usually say, the thoughts I usually think, the nonsense that usually spills out of my mouth. My resentment that is like my best friend. I keep resentment in my mind on a regular basis. By taking offense on a regular basis. By getting my ego hurt on a regular basis. Hold that off for 2 weeks and create a bubble of some type of actual sanity.
Music completely changed my life. I mean, music is this amazing thing that kind of bypasses the intellect and goes straight to your heart. You're kind of putting out an energy, then the crowd picks up on that and the crowd gives that back, and that's just like, that's the magic. You know, when you have something in your heart and you can see it reflected, that it's in that person's heart too, and they're singing it back, you know, with so much sincerity. And especially hardcore, because then they can come up on the stage, grab the mic, sing, jump off. I mean, there's no like rock star barrier between the band and the audience. It's just kind of like this celebration of the music where everybody's involved.
Sometimes we know our thoughts about ourselves and not our genuine selves. I ended up with stage 4 lymphoma. I spent $1,500 a month for my family on organic groceries. I worked out, I was of reasonable weight, yet still I got cancer. You see on the internet people saying, oh, well, if you eat well and you do yoga and you're all peaceful and zen, man, you're not gonna get sick. Bullshit. I got sick anyway. And that was a total mind fuck. Why me?
Concept in India is you're pure being. You are part of God. We have a beauty to us that's just been covered over. We get covered by one layer of lust. We get covered by greed. We get covered by anger and envy and rage. And they're just different layers. And the real thing, the real beautiful thing is you. We don't have a soul. We are a soul.
The band got instantly big. Raghunath moves from drums to vocals and starts writing all the songs. It's like bam! People are just interested in the band all of a sudden. And so we're touring the world, we're touring the country, we're writing albums. For an 18-year-old kid, like I'm a teenager, and all this stuff is just kind of like erupting around me. And it was like it was a ride. And then when the ride ends, Raghunath went to India for that first time, and he was really starting to get into, you know, all this Krishna stuff. And we knew he's not going to come back.
You just got to get focused on what your contribution is in this world. Life is short, isn't it? Life is so short. in this short time, why waste my time? I've been busy doing nothing for so long. What is my contribution? That should, if we don't know, that should be like on the top of the priority list. And when you really dial that in, then you just move forward. And what people think of you, none of your business. Sing with me, this song's called Put It Aside.
When you go through pain and you hit rock bottom, you know, you're like, what can I do, you know?
You just tear off all of the layers and you strip everything away, which you have to do when you get interested in spiritual life. It's not pretty, you know, it's not like la la la, shanti shanti.
India sees you for who you are, a spiritual soul. And what happens in India is you get boiled down to your genuine self.
Youth Today broke up, and it was around the time, it was like the early 90s, where the hardcore scene got super violent. I was in like my early 20s, and I was just like, what am I doing? I'm involved in this music scene. It's like so crazy. I got to risk my life to play a show and go to a show. There's got to be more to life than just what I'm doing right now.
Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki Shri Krishna Chandra ji Vaishali Wali Shrimati Radhika ki Ganga Maya ki Shrimati Janani Devi ki Vishwa Bhavani Shrimati Ganga Maya ki. The sound that comes out of your mouth affects your mind. If you speak ill, if you criticize, if you find fault, it affects your mind. If you see the good in other people, if you learn to love unconditionally, if you train the mind to love, it changes the mind. The words that come out of your mouth are so important. The yogis knew this. So they abandoned all fault-finding, all criticism, and they replaced those words with Srinam, the Harinam, the holy name, the holy name, the holy name. I want everyone to repeat after me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
I had the feeling that Raghunath was kind of shy to talk about his hardcore background, you know.
From the time I started Youth of Today, my father slipped into a coma. The material world is a temporary, miserable place. Oh, it's not, man. You gotta hang outside. You gotta go surf, go to the beach more. Everything that we embrace will get pulled out of our hands. We are in a dream. This thing's over in a moment. Life's ticking away.
This chanting opens gates that haven't been opened in the heart. Mana means the mind and Tra means the free. So this mantra is meant to free the mind from all anxieties, from all worries that we have. doesn't matter what color you are, you know, if you're educated or not. It doesn't matter.
For me, there was a hard line in the sand. It's like, crazy punk rock is over here. I don't want that. So I'm going to do the complete opposite lifestyle to be spiritual. I moved to a Christian farm, and I went from playing guitar in hardcore bands with CBGBs to literally milking cows.
When I see cheerleaders, it makes my blood boil. I'm like, why are you standing on the side of the court doing some crazy thing as entertainment while the actual game is being played? Like, take off your fucking saddle shoes and strap on some sneakers and go shoot baskets. Like, I don't want to be just watching from the side of the stage forever. You just gotta DIY it. If there's no women in a band, go buy a fucking guitar.
Yoga means to connect, to link up. Kirtan is a very powerful form of prayer, and you pray to be able to connect.
The 90s, like, they got dark. I was like, super violent and aggressive about anything and anyone. That kind of made me blind.
I don't think I would have had the guts to kind of like go so far outside of like mainstream society where I would like shave my head, wear orange robes, live in a temple if I wasn't a punk rocker. One day I'm in the barn. I've got these boots on. I'm literally shoveling cow dung into this truck. And all of a sudden the barn doors open. And there's rocking out, Purcell, I can't believe you're a devotee now. We're looking for a guitar player. Dude, I know you came a long way. We're old friends. There's no way I'm doing hardcore. The hardcore scene's crazy. I don't want crazy in my life anymore. I want to just be peaceful and be settled and just chant and have a peaceful place to chant. And Ray said, have you read the Bhagavad Gita yet? And I said, yes. And he said, well, if you've read the Bhagavad Gita, you'll know that one of the main themes of the Bhagavad Gita is Arjuna comes to the battlefield. He looks across to the other side of all the people that he's going to fight. He sees his grandfather, he sees his cousins, he sees all of these loved relatives. He sees his guru is on the other side. I can't do this. I don't want to fight. I don't want to be a warrior anymore. I'm just going to leave all this madness. And so Krishna tells him, no, you're a warrior by nature. And so Raghunath said to me, he goes, dude, I don't know how to tell you this. You are not a farmer. He goes, you think you're going to be at this farm in 10 years, milking cows, you're going to be bored out of your mind. I give you like 6 months. You're not a farmer. This is what you're supposed to be doing with your life. You're a guitar player. You have this ability where you can kind of like inspire people. And you're sitting at a farm? You should take what you're good at, what comes natural to you. I get it, being in a band, it can be a whole like ego trip, and when you do it that way, it's miserable. He goes, but we're gonna try something different.
The universe said, okay, all your life you've wanted to be a successful musician, we're gonna give you everything. And it's going to destroy you. Growing up as little punk rockers, we could say like, yeah, fame sucks. But when you experience it and you fall in love with it, fame, external validation, promiscuity, alcohol, drugs, I really thought this was going to fix me. And it was going to basically help me to sort of make up for all my fear and sense of inadequacy from growing up poor in Connecticut.
I can become angry, resentful, bitter, with my fate, with the hand I was dealt, with my father. Or I can forgive. What do I have in common? How are we connected? If I could just take that seriously, it would change my world. And if the world could take this seriously, it would change the world for all of us.
What does God do when we're not paying attention? 2 things. Puppies. A puppy is a product of the universe. It tells me a lot about the character of the divine that it would make a puppy. And our immune systems. The divine is constantly trying to like heal us and protect us. Oh my God, like it loves us so much, it doesn't stop.
Hold it. You guys all hold each other like a human force.
Listening to the words.
You say your family member's name out loud. All your family members. Bridge, Sachi, Rocco.
And listening to the chanting made me realize how grateful I should be every single day of my life. From what I'm given. From the health that I'm given. I should be grateful for like every little thing. And also in connection to my daughter, in relation to what, was happening. Let's put things in perspective, and she's a healthy child. She's gonna grow up. Her mom and this guy are doing a great job, every day, giving her love and a shelter and food and everything. And
Everybody touch each other or me.
I might as well be happy and grateful for what, they're doing.
The word bhakti itself means love or devotion. It's practicing any type of religion or spiritual path that says the living entity can have direct access to divinity through relationship.
First, we're going to worship the lamp that we're going to offer. And then we're going to worship is Lakshmi, Vishnu, and Ganga. And then with the lamp, we offer to the Ganga.
Everybody gets to experience divinity exactly how they need to. They have a personal relationship.
It gets tiring having to defend how you want to pray to God. What's funny is we're all reaching for the same thing, higher power.
This is a subtle philosophical thing, so I'm just going to say the simplest version. It requires a subject and an object. And the object is God. And so the subject is us.
You know what you call God? I don't know. Krishna? Jehovah? Jesus Christ, Allah. What does it matter? Really? I don't care. I just don't care.
And we sometimes call God Krishna and sometimes Vishnu. And then we can't ignore that the Bhakti traditions also encompass Shiva and the Devi. Shiva says, I am the source of everything. If you read the Devi Puranas, Shiva and Vishnu come out of her body. And she makes the philosophical point, who was born without a mother?
Does this offend you? Sorry. Maybe not. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
When we die, I don't know what happens.
Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare.
I don't know what happens.
Hare Rama.
I don't know if God is a blue cowherd boy or if he's a crucified in the Middle East or if it's all one.
Or if it's matter that's transformed into different dimensions and involves a consciousness that we're in human form not capable of understanding. We all die, we all get sick, our matter is dissolved back into the universe. Nothing ever exempts us from that. Our form is gone. Why act as if somehow we can prevent ourselves from being ravaged by the human condition?
No gets out alive.
How can I make myself happy? What can I kind of pull into my life? Money, a beautiful, attractive partner, a good job that not only brings me money, but also brings me prestige in society. That's how I'm going to be happy. All this yoga literature for thousands of years tells us that's not the way you're going to be happy. That's the way that you're going to be confused and frustrated. I don't know, I got $1 million in the bank and somehow or other I got nothing in my heart. It's not about me. It's not about what I can get. It's about what I can give.
It's not what the words say. It's what's in your heart. Let them show.
To the effect that I try to live according to like these yogic principles, I can feel love and contentment arising in my freaking stone heart.
I went to Vishtastu's cave. Caves are where things began. Swamis went to the cave, downloaded as thoughts into their mind that ended up making their religion. And I crawled back into the very back of this cave. And everything went silent in my head. And I understood everything about India, and I understood everything about myself.
Hey, Ragnar, you should be here. Look at this crowd we got. I got a good crowd for you.
Rolling the crowds was like a jailhouse, reaching for something real.
Of course, I love playing big shows. What a great avenue, like you get to play in front of 10,000 people, or sometimes we played shows in front of 100,000 people.
Down on the street, the people judge me, know the way that I feel.
His band, Shelter, they played on the main stage some years ago to 350,000 people. They loved him. They still remember Raghunath.
To embrace materialism, if you don't have the ability to embrace it, it can get frustrating. I want to be a celebrity. I want to be famous. I want to have sex with all these women or all these men, or I want to get invited to this particular party. And you just can't get in the door. It's another thing of like, yeah, you're more than welcome. And it gets to like feed all these like almost secret dark desires. Like, are they bad? Are they good? Maybe I'm just not stepping into it.
You know, it's like light and dark. The ego is always there. For example, like you embrace service, the ego's like, yeah, maybe people will give you credit for being really like, yeah, like I'm the best service guy in the world, and like you should bow down at me for my service.
It doesn't say in the Gita, you shouldn't make money. Never says that. It says you have to learn to do your duty with no attachment to the results. The problem isn't the money. The problem is the clinging. I mean, money allows you to cling to all different things. What you're actually rejecting is the Maya of materialism.
The organizer of this entire Poland Rock event, he's a philanthropist. He raises a lot of money for handicapped children. And as a thank you, he puts on this festival for free. We're cooking for 160,000 people. Devotees cook. We have sabji, we have rice, we have halava and papadam.
There is something about really understanding your dharma that's challenging. Some people's duty is to make a lot of money. Some people's duty is to chant.
I really didn't know what I was. I knew I was not like my friends in high school. I remember like in 1982, I'm watching a band get on stage.
You're in very good hands.
And all of a sudden, a mosh pit starts. And I just said, they're slamming, they're slamming, they're slamming.
You see people chanting, you know, that's a hardcore show, man. The body's moving and like almost moshing, you know, like going crazy. It's like energy, like, you know, felt to the core, you know.
The whole process of bhakti is to not give up what you're good at.
I grew up scared of everything. My home life was scary, school was scary. The only thing that wasn't scary, ironically, was the hardcore scene, which
was scary
which terrified everybody else.
Yeah.
But for me, I was like, oh, we're all dysfunctional, broken people.
When I was a kid, I loved music. Some of my earliest joyful experiences that I had were like listening to music, discovering music, spending hours with my headphones as a kid, my Walkman, just like listening to all this music, like, you know, in bliss, you know. I was like really kind of like into music.
I basically took music from whoever was near me. I asked my dad for $200 and I bought a guitar from my friend, and then I learned to play the bass because some band needed a bass player, and I was like, I can play bass. And I looked exactly like a boy and invented that. I actually invented that look. I go to the bathroom and they said, boys' room or girls' room?
It's all about transformation.
Women are still kind of kicking and screaming to have a voice. When you're a little kid, you're like yourself and you're the subject of your life, and then you like hit puberty and suddenly you're an object. Women are stoned to death for being raped. They're burned. They have acid thrown on them. In our cellular matrix, I'm quite convinced that women feel that. This worldwide essence of what it is to be female.
I had to decide to own my own life, and knowing what had happened in the past, to lift under that rock and see that darkness.
Mangalamurati Marutanandan Sakala Mangalamulani Kandan Mangalamurati Marutanandan Sakala Mangalamulani Kandan Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nijamana Mukuru Sudhari Parana Raghubara Bimala Jasu Jodayak Bhalachari Buddhahina Tanu Janike Sumiram Pavana Kumara Bala Buddhi Vedya Dehu Mohi Harahu Klesha Vikar Siyavara Ramachandra Pada Jai Sharanam Jaya Hanuman Jnana Guna Sagar Jaya Kapishati Loka Ujagar Ramaduta Tulita Baladam Anjani Putra Pavana Sutana Mahavira Vikram Bajrangi Kumati Nivara Sumati Kesangi Kanchana Varana Viraja Suvesa Kanana Kundala Kunchita Kesa Hatha Vajra Aur Dhwaja Viraj Kande Muja Janeyo Saj Shankara Suvan Kesari Nandan Teja Pratapa Mahajagavanda Vidyavana Guni Ati Chatu Rama Kaja Karibe Ko Atu Prabhu Charitra Sunibe Ko Rasiya Rama Lakhana Sita Manavasiya Sukshma Rupa Dharisiya Hindikha.
What happens in India is it's a little like taking a pill with a time-lapse release. You move a little bit slower and it's like your heart goes silent.
Chandra ke kaja samhar Laya sajivan lakhana jiya
Part of me doesn't even know if I even officially mourned my father to this day.
Raghupati kinhi bahuta badai Tuma mama priya bharata
Don't you understand? Dad didn't die. You're about to die.
Asakahi Shripati kantha laga Sanakadika brahmadi munisa
My best day at chemo, if you could think you could have a best day, it's actually one of the best days of my life, which makes zero sense. I had a gallon bag, IV, dripping into my arm, listening to chanting over and over and over again. And I left that bed. I left that room. I felt like I was up in the Ethernet and just getting healing.
According to the way you lived in previous lifetimes, you will get your jati, your birth, which could be like your parents are college professors, or your parents are bricklayers. You get your ayur, your lifespan. Some people only live for 7 years. And then you get your bhog, your life quality. You could be born in a really poor family, but your grandmother has an abundance mentality. So your whole life is filled with abundance, and it could be so perfect. You create your own jati, your own ayur, and your own bhog.
My parents, coming from like a farmer family, like no culture, no diplomas, no high school degrees, nothing.
I went to this like really sort of upper middle class high school in Westchester.
can also do something else on that one. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
A lot of rich kids, a lot of BMWs in the parking lot. And it was just sort of like, okay, go to college, get a good job.
There's one thing, we do have free will.
Oh, you're not gonna go to college? What are you, crazy?
My parents had an idea, go and stay in the States for like about a year. Here I am, like 16 years old, like by myself, in the middle of everything, gang wars and like, all this crazy stuff happening.
I'm a CPA and I have my own accounting firm. I used to work for my father. I hate my father. He's a horrible person who was highly abusive to me. And then I went out on my own to do my own business, and I realized I was doing my father's profession.
Yeah, I started playing classical guitar when I was 9. And then I broke my poor guitar teacher's heart, and I sort of tried to unlearn everything I'd been taught so I could start this punk rock band.
One-time shelter at the height of our popularity. We got a show in Maine. Dude, 3 people showed up. And we were just like, what the hell are we doing here? What are we doing here? Raghunath was at the merch booth. And so some kid came up and he was like, what is all this Christian stuff about? What's all like this Bhagavad Gita stuff about? And like, they just had a conversation for like 3 hours. Materially, it makes no sense. You make no money. But you don't understand, this one kid, his life is like kind of like transformed. He gets sort of sent on this path.
Thank you so much. Your words give me a lot of solace this past year.
And, it becomes like a lifelong thing for him.
The only Krishna people I ever know was like a street gang. They had very tough lives growing up. And I didn't have a tough life. And I grew up in the suburbs, that was the tough life, I'm dealing with junior high school. One of the members of the band who was into Krishna started to preach to me. He was a tough guy, and he was a violent guy. Now, I liked all those things too. I wanted to be cool and liked and tough. And so he would preach to me. The soul is eternal. He was a gang leader, but it was mixed with a real element of danger and violence. So I don't get it. Are we supposed to be violent and cool? Or are we supposed to be incredibly peaceful?
Arjun's duty was to kill his entire family. What the fuck?
Mother Yamuna, one of a handful of small, super cool people.
The cancer came to me as a gift.
You know what I mean?
I didn't want to look under the dark rock before I was sick.
Vache Goranga, La Goranga, Kaha Goranga, Namore.
I learned to love myself and accept my life as it was. There's been sexual harm, and there has been emotional abuse, physical abuse. The harm was on the person who victimized me. Now the rest is up to me. You can only be a victim for that one day, and then you have to turn yourself around and you decide the rest of your life.
what is the positive? What is like our gift out?
Italians eat horse meat. My big first choice I made, when I was 16 years old, to give up meat and go vegetarian.
Imagine if I said, yeah, we're gonna chop up a bunch of dog bodies today. I'd be like, what are you talking about, man? I mean, no, I made a mistake. We're not chopping up dogs. We're skinning alive cats and hanging them. You'd be like, are you sick, man? These are the golden animals that will never get killed, yet these ones are commodities. We buy, sell, trade, butcher. Actually, I don't want them. Throw them in the trash and chop up the bodies. What are we doing? Why are you ruining our Thanksgiving meal and making these statements?
We had one rescue cat named Tucker, and I was petting Tucker, and I suddenly realized that Tucker has 2 eyes and a central nervous system and this rich emotional life and a desire to avoid pain and suffering. If my orientation towards life and other creatures is don't hurt them and don't contribute to their suffering, that has to be all creatures.
I went to New York. I was on 6th Avenue. There was a skate shop. And I go inside and I ask the guy, like, hey, he's, this shoe, like a skate shoe, like, is it vegan? And the guy was like, yeah, are you vegan? Yeah, come and stay in my house.
Please come in, we'll make you lunch. Well, thank you very much. I'm with 30 people. Oh, we'll make you all lunch.
So Hare Krishna, this is chapati. And when it is cooked on the wood and fire, when it puffs up, it becomes like this big. This much big and this big.
That concept of prasad, giving food, sanctified food, has been like part of spiritual culture in India. You grow food with love. You prepare food with love. You offer food to God with love. And then you distribute food with love.
The Swami who's given everything up. They're living with their robes. And they're teaching us a great value of how to live your life. Should I just give up, as the Swami says, everything and live in robes? All these years of accounting experience.
Don't confuse the two. You're actually trying to strip off this mentality that the material world is the only place.
I really thought that I was going to leave my accounting business.
You think the Swamis aren't taking any material possessions? Everything is provided for them. Everything is provided for them. You shouldn't get confused. But there's a difference. So the difference is this. They take what's given to them, and they're detached.
As a parent, you still have to help out your kid and your friends and family and the people who are relying on you, and some of the people who are relying on you are your clients.
I mean, that's what karma yoga is. Some people will just teach, that's their dharma. Some people will earn money and they'll give some of that money to the teachers so the teachers can teach. And it says that there's no difference between those two. It's from the Gita. Whether you're sitting alone in a solitary place and chanting, or you're performing karma yoga, those are identical.
What I realized is to live as a Swami, I'm giving up my gift to the world, and it's needed in the world. The world feels like it has to be compartmentalized. You're either one thing or another. Commercial, spiritual, but I'm both. I'm an accountant, and what you do with it is what's important.
And also your level of attachment. I'm going to now publicly criticize the Swamis. If you're attached to people, being your disciples, you're attached to being honored, then what's the use of being a Swami? If you're detached and you're a millionaire, that's better.
I'm the cool guy. Everybody check me out. As soon as you get that mentality, you suffer. According to the yoga point of view, it really doesn't matter like what you do. And life is going to throw you stuff because, hey, that's what we're here for. We're here to become more loving, kind, connected people. Sometimes that takes some hard lessons. Material life is hard. You get older and you can get sick, and your kids get sick. You have to kind of center yourself and to not get carried away with that stuff and understand that, like, my main business here is not to make $1 million. My main business here isn't to like create some kind of like empire that's going to turn to dust in a few decades anyway. My main business is to connect with who I am as a spiritual being, and who God is.
What is the definition of success? What is that? Of course, when I had nothing, like a material nothing, it was important to me to have like a house and food and, all the basic needs, to take care of my life. But dude, when I'm getting very emotional, wait. To feel the pain of being away from my daughter, it didn't matter. It didn't matter, how much money you had in your bank account, because I was still feeling like a homeless dude, I was feeling like a homeless dude, because I had no shelter, I didn't know where to go.
There is a tangible way that I feel better, that I feel good, that I feel free, that I feel light, that I feel love, that I feel connected. And there's definitely a way, like, this is dark, this is abusive, this is selfish.
And it's selfishness motivated by control and fear.
Okay, we are part of this world, How can we use what we do as a tool, as a good positive weapon, you know, to make a change. I realized that through my work, I had my expression, I had my voice. We are one of those influencer companies right now. I have this power right now to talk to kids. But I don't want to make it sound like I'm, you know, your father. I want to make it sound cool, but I want to make it sound positive and constructive. We actually designed the gratitude collection. To see like a 22-year-old kid wearing a humility or gratitude t-shirt, it makes me smile.
Generally, religion's created a problem that you're a loser and you'll never be perfect. Accept that. But you can be saved if you just opt in here. So here is Christ, the Prince of Peace, talking about loving your enemies and forgiveness, seated at the right hand of the Father, and somehow he took that to mean I've got it right and everybody else has it wrong. What did he teach? Surrender to God with your heart, mind, and soul. Didn't I just say that? That's Bhakti Yoga. Love God with your heart, mind, and soul. That's Bhakti.
The downside of an institution is it creates a very one-sided, very linear, you know, type of religion.
As far as I'm concerned, when I read the Bible, I see a Bhakti literature.
You know, Bhakti is about falling in love. So it's kind of like lining up a bunch of guys in front of your daughter and saying, let me explain to you why you're in love with this person. And then you have to accept it. It's just not how love works. They're definitely going to pick the person you don't want them to fall in love with.
I'm such a rebel and I don't like rules. But in my heart, I guess I'm a devotee. The 6 pillars of Bhakti. They're tools to help you out in your life. Ones that helped me the most is I will not criticize, because in my whole life, I don't acknowledge the good, I only see the problems. There's a narrator constantly analyzing everything. This is wrong, that's wrong, this wrong. When I was first in business, clients would bring me absolute freaking messes and they hardly wanted to pay me anything for it. Instead of sitting there criticizing them, I flipped it around and said, that's why they need me. And that's why I'm here. And that's the whole reason I have a business. And so when people say, can you help me with this? My answer is, this is what I do.
There are 6 pillars of Bhakti that I pulled out of all my studies. I am tolerant. I take no offense. I'm quick to apologize. I see the good in others and let them know it. I'm grateful and I keep a tally of my blessings. Bhakti is connecting to God through your heart, through your mind, through your spirit, through your words, through your actions. I forgot who I was. I'll know when the thermometer starts to go down, then I know I start to getting healthy, the fever's gone.
It's just truth. And like Shakespeare has been thinking about, stuff like this. You used to be so young and beautiful, now where's my friend now? Now he's dead. You're like, thoughtful people have been kind of contemplating these like universal truths thousands of years. It's not just like some kind of like sectarian like Krishna thing. It's just all about like how we can kind of maneuver our way through this world with wisdom so that we become truly happy. Whether you hear it from like Buddhism or whether you hear it from the Christian tradition, truth is truth is truth.
In the truest sense, we are all connected. And these songs, I can still sing them with all my love and all my passion because I want truth in my life. That's the food for my soul. Sing with me. This song is called In Praise of Others.
We went to the temple and there was 3 curtains. The curtains were opened and there are deities, statues of Krishna and Radha. I wasn't really connecting to it. So what I did was I kind of left the group and made a circle by myself around the temple and looked at the love, the skill, the devotion that it took to construct that temple. My heart just welled up with so much emotion. All of these people in this temple, there must have been hundreds of people there, were singing, dancing, loving these statues. Their devotion, their love, their energy, everything was dedicated to these plastic dolls. And the thought that ran through my mind was, if all people who worship some kind of deity or a cross or something symbolic took that love and that devotion and turned it around to the person sitting next to them, living next to them, working next to them, that would be the end of all pain and suffering in the world. If people saw God in each other instead of God on an altar, there would be no pain and suffering. That moment upset me. It really upset me. And I came back, everyone was like, oh my God, that was amazing, it was ecstatic, oh. And Raghunath came to sit next to me and he asked me, what did you think? And I told him the truth. And while I was telling, I even had this moment of like, maybe I shouldn't tell him. He listened to me with such attention and he had a completely different answer than I thought he was. I thought he was going to get defensive or try to explain something. He looked at me and said, you have a good point.